Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the NFL version of Proline. It's week 2. The books took a beating in week 1, unlike a year ago. I'm John Cranton, joined by Vegas experts Harvard Barnhart and Zach Simony. Going to take a look at 3 NFL games, 2 on Sunday, one of the Monday night contests with the Jets and the Colts. But first, we're going to take a look back at week 1, some of the observations that we have. Harvard, I know you're off a terrific 5-2 week. You're 5-1 with your 10 stars. What did you see last weekend that stood out?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been saying this, not 34 years, I've been handicapping for 34 years, but one day I just woke up and I figured out how to bet the NFL probably about 25, 30 years ago, somewhere like that. And here it is, very careful. All you do is envision going up to the window at any sports book in Las Vegas or wherever you bet, and if it makes you literally sick to your stomach to make that bet, you're on the right side. If you're all warm and fuzzy and you can't wait to call all your friends and say, hey, get on Minnesota, you're on the wrong side. Well, I put that to use yesterday. I walked up. It made me physically ill to bet on San Francisco, and I got rewarded for that gut instinct. And I'm telling you right now, keep this in mind forever with only the NFL, not with college or anything else, but the NFL, if it makes you sick. And I'll tell you why. If you think the sports books out here in Vegas are saying, hey, bring a big wheelbarrow and an extra large snow shovel, and they're just going to give you out free money because 90% of the public are betting on Minnesota, it's not going to happen. They don't give out free anything in Vegas except maybe free cocktails to get you blasted. But anyway, it was a nice win. I really enjoyed that last night.
All right, and the team that stood out for me was the Tampa Bay game against Tampa Bay as they got smoked by Tennessee, because I'm not big on Jameis Winston at all, and boy, he was just awful, a couple of picks, and the defense was terrible too. That coaching staff is going to be on the hot seat. I wouldn't be surprised to see an overhaul there, and I was also impressed with the Tennessee offense. Ken Wisenhunt, they built that offense around the talents of Mariota. What a terrific job they did, the way he's playing similar to style offensively, the way he played at Oregon. So the coaching staff, hats off to Tennessee for what they did, and thumbs down for Tampa Bay. I think they're going to be the worst team in the league, along with the Raiders and the Browns, for the NFL draft. All right, Zach,
I didn't to interrupt you, but I think I called for Lovie Smith's head last year on a platter, if you remember that.
They didn't listen to you, but they should have.
I'm telling you, this guy is not a good coach. Thank you.
Yeah, and they got defensive talent too, but that defense didn't show up at all. All right, Zach, you had a winning Saturday and Sunday in the NFL. What stood out for you this week?
Well, I'm just going to focus on the games that were part of my packages, and as you mentioned, the odds makers took a beating this week, but hey, they're going to have rough weeks. They're going to recover, and the lines are still sharp. And people might have had some winning weeks, but if you look at how the games fell, it was right at the ends that a lot of these people got their money. So for my instance, I went 3-2 in both NFL and college football, and just to get those wins is as tough as can be. And my 2 losses in college football were about as heartbreaking as can be, that I'll touch on, with UConn up covering the spread in hand. Army can't throw the ball the whole game, 13 yards passing. What happens on a 3rd and 6 with under 4 minutes to go? A 71-yard touchdown pass. So that got the backdoor cover there. And in my FIU play, +8, they're winning 22-19 with 11 minutes to go. Of course, Indiana's going to come back. I expect that. But FIU marches back down the field, down 7 points with 3 minutes to go yet again. 4th and goal. I'm like, okay, they're going to cover this game, no doubt about it. Pick 6 the other way, 36-22, they get the cover there. So each win's tough, each loss is tough. So you got to keep that in mind. Everyone that had a great week, it's not going to be that easy every week.
So Army's not going to throw another touchdown pass this season, and you were against them the one game that they decided to do that. All right, let's move to Sunday in the NFL. We'll get the Patriots playing the Bills. How about the undefeated AFC East after week 1? Patriots 1.5-point favorite, now down to 1, and the totals dropped a little bit from 46 to 45. Patriots come off extra days of preparation here after beating Pittsburgh on a Thursday night 28-21 with a strong offensive effort but some suspect defense. Then you got this Bills team that comes off a beating of the Colts 27-14. I have to apologize to Rex Ryan, because when he said that he liked Tyrod Taylor, he would bring excitement to the offense, I thought he was crazy, and I was on the Colts, but hats off to Rex. He was correct. Taylor was very strong, rolling out just 14 of 19 passing, very efficient, no turnovers, 1 touchdown. And the ground game had 147 yards. So Harvard, this is the second consecutive road game here for Buffalo. And in many ways, this might be a game of the year type for Rex Ryan.
You mean home game for Buffalo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Buffalo, they got the new names. It's not the Bills. It's the Bullies, Buffalo Bullies. I like that name.
Going to Rex, right.
And also, we got through the first week. I was wondering what Percy Harvin was going to do in the locker room, and he didn't burn down the locker room. So he contributed big time. Let me tell you this. Normally what you saw last week on TV, that always influences you, but it usually magically reverses, and the same thing doesn't happen the following week. Well, not with what we saw with Buffalo. I think what we saw last week is the same thing you're going to see this week. Bad coaching last year when these two teams met. I was there. In fact, I still got my Niagara Falls hat. I couldn't believe how bad the coaching was. Well, that's completely changed. The quarterback's changed. Everything has changed. Former coaches are saying that this Tyrod Taylor is incredible. He's explosive. He's the real deal. One thing that I noticed, he had 41 yards of rushing, which really makes his passing and balancing everything else. When you look at the New England, don't even look at that game and how they played it. First of all, they were sky high. They just won the Deflate Gate that week. They unveiled their championship barrier. They screwed up the Steelers' headsets. They're playing at home against Pittsburgh, who they always beat. Pittsburgh was without Bell and Ponce. So it really was, I mean, yeah, they got the win, but this is different. This is a whole completely different scenario. What you're going to see this week is Buffalo taking over the AFC East. And I'm going to take, I can't even believe they're favored. New England's favored. I think Buffalo should be the favorite, but I'm taking Buffalo Bullies and taking the +1 or even or -1 or -2 or -3 or whatever Buffalo has to do. They're going to get the win.
All right, some of the technicals on this series has been dominated by the Patriots. 21-10-1 against the spread. The road team is 14-6 ATS. The Pats are 9-2 here in Buffalo, but that was not against Rex Ryan coach team. Patriots, kind of a mixed bag in that first game. The good was Tom Brady, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. They introduced that double tight end set, which is devastating. But the bad, boy, the defense was shaky against the run. Very young secondary. So, Zach, where does the wagering edge stand in this AFC showdown?
I think you have to harken back to what happened with Rex Ryan and his Jets defense against the Patriots for years when the Jets were good, 2009, 2010, 2008, around that time frame. Rex Ryan had that aggressive defense that really shifted the way New England started throwing the ball with Tom Brady aging. That's when he started developing those underneath routes, getting that double tight end set, as you mentioned. And Rex Ryan hasn't had success against that Patriot style. I don't think you could change that in this division matchup, even though he's changed over the Bills. They might have a little bit better personnel, but they know how to attack that aggressive defense. And I think they're going to have that success yet again. They can run the football, they can pass the ball, and if you look at what the Colts did versus what the Patriots are going to do, it's going to be a stark contrast of difference. Andrew Luck was pressing way too much. As soon as he got his first pick in the middle of the first quarter, he was pressing way too much. The run game wasn't working with Frank Gore, and the offense just wasn't in sync. You can't just keep throwing deep balls to T.Y. Hilton and expect those balls to be caught. You got to utilize that underneath routes, and that's what Tom Brady does. I think against Pittsburgh, he had almost all of his throws under 10 yards, under 10 yards, under 10 yards, under 10 yards, and that's just like running the football, in my opinion. So I think the Patriots have the advantage here. Tyrod Taylor is going to be a success story this season, but I think New England's just a top-tier team. Bill Belichick knows how to play that Rex Ryan defense against that Rex Ryan defense, and they're going to get the job done on Sunday.
All right, well, I'm not going to be the mediator here because I'm going to take a look at the total. This Patriots run defense is better than they showed against Pittsburgh. An excellent linebacking core. Historically, the last couple of years, they've been very strong against the run. And I got to believe the game plan will be to keep Tyrod Taylor in the pocket. That's normally what Belichick does against these mobile quarterbacks. The problem I have here is the Patriots' offensive line. How are they going to perform? They used 3 rookies last week. Their starting center, Brian Stork, who was terrific last year, he's not going to be around until about week 8 because of a concussion. And they couldn't run the ball at all against Pittsburgh last week. They're running against a phenomenal defensive front here in Buffalo. You know Rex Ryan's going to unleash the blitz in this game, so they're going to have to pass Tom Brady about 50 times in this game, probably a lot of short underneath stuff. But all in all, I see a defensive game because you got some strong defenses up on the line. The Bills just played the Colts. The great passing offense shut them down. Only 14 points the Colts had. Bills are now 7-1 under the total when they face the AFC. They're also 6-0 under the total run at home. So I'm going to look at a defensive game here in this one under the total. All right, let's move on to the big one going on Sunday night between Seattle and Green Bay. First, if you want to get free plays either via text or on a free recorded message, just check out jimwins.com for Jim's daily sports report.